Pathways is not accessible to Gavel Club members. Only the digital resources, which are the Competent Communicator, Competent Leader, and the advanced manuals, that are part of the package for the kids.
Welcome to D50 After Dark, where we have conversations with the leaders of District 50 Toastmasters. I'm your host, Mickey Bennett, and in today's episode, we're going to learn about what it takes to start a Gavel Club. You don't want to miss this, especially if you have young people in your life who you want to learn about Toastmasters. Stay tuned. Welcome to D50 After Dark, and Jen and Nikki, welcome back to the show again.
Thank you.
We're glad to be here.
Yes, I've been having so much fun talking with you about these youth programs. And again, Hitesh is not with us today, but I did get a chance to ask him a question last week. Hitesh, where can I find out if there's already a Gavel Club close to me that my kids could go to?
For security reasons, the list of Gavel Clubs is not published publicly. If anyone is interested in knowing about if there is a Gavel Club in their community or in the area, they can reach out to youth leadership at d50tm.org, and one of the volunteers will help you find a Gavel Club in the area. If there is no Gavel Clubs, there is an opportunity for us to consider opening one in your area, and we can collaborate and partner with you in establishing a new Gavel Club in your area.
Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought of it, but it seems like you guys have thought of everything.
Yes, over the period of time we have learned and received a tremendous support from Toastmasters on forming and managing Gavel Clubs.
All right. Well, thank you, Hitesh. Now, Nikki and Jen. Jen, you've been doing Gavel Clubs for many years now.
15
years.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've seen a lot of kids do these programs, and we're going to hear some of those stories in our next episode. But for those who are interested in getting their kids involved already, like what does it take to start a Gavel Club? Hitesh says we get an email. That's the first step. But tell us a little bit more about what it takes to start a Gavel Club.
Yeah, it's not as difficult as starting a Toastmaster Club.
Okay.
Toastmaster Clubs are pretty difficult. They have to have 20 members and pay the fees and all that good stuff. With a Gavel Club, the good thing is there's a few restrictions. One is the group cannot be eligible to charter as a regular Toastmaster Club, and it must include members who are under the age of 18. They should have the endorsement of the host location, and the host location might be a Toastmaster Club that's going to support and help this particular Gavel Club get going and be successful. So that club will provide service to that club, whether it's a speaker or coming and just supporting it.
Like a Big Brother club.
Kind of like a Big Brother club, right? And the club has to use the program and procedures and materials that are provided by Toastmasters International for the club. They have to apply to Toastmasters International for a certificate of affiliation. And it is a little bit of a process, but the good news is you don't need really a minimum number of members, although you should have probably at least 7 to start a club. There is a flat fee annually first there's a registration fee of approximately $125, and then there is an annual fee of $125 that the club would pay to keep the affiliation. And the Gavel Club is then an affiliate location for Toastmasters International, and it is, so we can get help or answers to our questions, and we get digital material now. In the past, they used to send actual physical books that were used by the adults. Now we have access to the digital resources, which are those same books, but online. And they also have included some advanced manuals, so storytelling and advanced speeches that the kids could do. And the kids can use those as a study guide and to use for speech, and then in our club, we have evaluation forms that they can actually give to their evaluator that talks about the purpose of the speech and then gives feedback. So there's really good reason to affiliate with Toastmasters International.
Yeah, so I've got a few follow-up questions there. So you mentioned the annual dues. So that's in lieu of individual member dues. So the individual members don't pay anything.
That's correct.
The Gavel Club as a whole pays the $125.
Right. There may be a sponsor that pays that $125, or you may collect a small fee from the members to pay that.
Yeah.
In our club, we are very fortunate. We do assess club dues to our members, very minimal, $20 a year, and we use that to pay the dues to Toastmasters International, as well as pay for room rental in the facility that we use for our club meetings.
Now, you mentioned having the endorsement from an affiliate, and you mentioned that could be another Toastmasters club, but I imagine these might often be associated with a church or
Absolutely.
I had assumed that these would be like an after-school program at a school, but that you don't find these at the school themselves.
I haven't found too many at the schools, and one reason primarily for that is that the schools really don't have the facilities, and if they do rent a room, it's very expensive.
Right.
So we meet in a community center, a city community center, and because we are a nonprofit affiliated with Toastmasters International, we get a discount on our room rental. So it's very reasonable. It's like $22 every time we have a meeting.
Yeah, and now you mentioned materials. So Toastmasters International provides materials, and you mentioned manuals. So are these students using Pathways?
No, Pathways is not accessible to Gavel Club members. Only the digital resources, which are the Competent Communicator, Competent Leader, and the advanced manuals that are part of the package for the kids.
That's, in a way, it's pretty cool to know that those manuals I grew up with, so to speak, in my early Toastmasters years, that they're still out there being used.
Exactly. And they're very good manuals. I mean, the 10 speeches in Competent Communicator really take you from your icebreaker to speaking to inform to using gestures, all the way through all of the skills that we teach in Toastmasters International through Pathways, but it's in a manual form, digitally in a manual form.
And they use the Competent Leadership Manual as well?
Yeah, the Leadership Manual, I really enjoyed doing that because in a Toastmaster meeting and in a Gavel Club meeting, there are leadership roles inside that meeting. There's a Toastmaster who runs the meeting. There's an awe counter who's a listener who listens for filler words and auditory clutter. There is a timer that times all of the segments, whether it's a speech or table topics. There's a table topic master who brings questions to ask. There's evaluators who listen to a speech and will evaluate a specific speaker. All of those are leadership roles that focus on specific leadership skills, whether it's time management or listening or analyzing. And in the Competent Leader Manual, it talks about each of those roles in the Toastmaster meeting and Gavel Club meeting and what the leadership skill is that you're learning by doing that role.
Very cool. And the advanced communicator manuals as well.
They're exciting. Once you get through the first 10 of the Competent Communicator, if you're interested in a different subject like how persuasive or speaking
technical
to inform,
presentations.
Technical, right.
Yeah.
They have several of those manuals out there that were part of our infancy and teenage years in Toastmasters.
Right. Now, I have another question for Hitesh. Hitesh, in your experience in working with Gavel Clubs, are there any challenges that are unique to starting and running a Gavel Club that's different from starting and running a normal Toastmasters Club?
The challenges in Gavel Clubs are pretty similar to the ones that we face in regular Toastmasters Club. To name one is summer breaks. We all notice that during summer, people go out of town or go out on vacations. So during months of summer, the way we handle it is we usually just take a break of 2 months in Gavel Clubs. That way, the students who want to go out, they do not miss out on things. Now, on certain Gavel Clubs, the students wants to continue during the months of summer. So in those Gavel Clubs, we continue the club during the month of summer clubs. But overall, the challenges are pretty similar, and there is a support for that from volunteers to help on addressing any challenges that comes along the way.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Now, Nikki, we've been hearing from Jen. Do you have any thoughts about running one of these programs, whether it be Gavel Club or a youth leadership program? Is there particular challenges or anything that we need to know about what it takes to run these?
I think one of the major, challenges that I find with the youth leadership program is just finding the space to host it.
Yeah.
A space that we can use for 4 weeks in a row. A space that's free.
Yeah.
So we've been pretty fortunate working with the McKinney Library, the Frisco Library. We're now the Prosper Playhouse that we'll be doing in June. So we've the Ronald McDonald House. So made a lot of connections with a lot of businesses in the area that once they hear about the program, they're excited about it. But that's the biggest challenge. I think once that's settled and the word gets out that the program's there, it fills up like this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another way, one of the ways in which it's very similar to a real, I don't want to say real Toastmaster Club for adults is venue. It's one of the biggest challenges.
Absolutely.
Or it can be. Okay. All right. Well, tell me, is it worth it? Is it worth all the effort?
100%. 100%. And I think that for me, what continues to drive me is at the end of the program when the parents are there, the parents that come up and say, I've seen such a dramatic change just in these 4 weeks.
Right.
It's just, that keeps me going.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
that they can see the change.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, so these kids who do the program, when they complete one of these, when they complete the CC manual, are they awarded as a competent communicator? How does that work?
They do get a certificate of completion when they finish the 10 speeches in the Competent Communicator. We haven't had any of our students do that yet, but I'm anticipating that we should have some completion. You can get the certificate from Toastmasters International that they've finished it. There's a form they fill out that they've finished it, and it goes in and they get a certificate. It's not real exciting, but I think a certificate of doing 10 speeches is pretty amazing.
I think it's pretty exciting. My understanding was before Pathways, they could complete the Competent Communicator manual, and they wouldn't be able to go further, but they would have that. So when they are an adult, they would already have that started in their progression through the educational program.
In the past, yes.
In the past.
Right.
Now with Pathways, they have to start over, but that's fine.
Yeah, they'd be very familiar with it, though, and they probably have a few pocket speeches to just pull out and do.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. All right. Well, let's leave our listeners with a call to action.
Yes. The best thing that you can do is find a youth that you care about and encourage them and their parents to reach out to Hitesh at email at youthleadership@d50tm.org. Find out more about the youth leadership program, because I think that is a great way to start. It's a short, finite program, gets them into it. And then if you do see some progress, then connect with a Gavel Club to continue that. Mm-hmm. And we've had students go all the way from second grade all the way till they went into high school and joined the debate team. Mm-hmm. Amazing progress. So find that youth and encourage them and help them find a way to come to a youth leadership or a Gavel Club. They could also visit a Toastmaster meeting see what the adults do, or visit a contest, especially a D50 contest, and we're in contest season right now, and watch the process of competition, the formality of the agenda, and the way that the contestants really work that stage. I think that's having kids see and hear and do makes it come alive for them, and they will be much better if they could get over the fear when they're young instead of having to wait until they were adults like we had to wait.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Much easier. That's my call to action.
Very cool. I love it. I love it. I mean, just think of who you want to have the wonderful benefits of Toastmasters, who's a young person, and make it happen. Go to a summit, bring them to a Toastmasters meeting, email the leadership team, and is it safe to say once you email the leadership team, they're going to have your back and hold your hand through the whole process?
Absolutely. So when you send the email to that address, I actually get it.
Yeah.
So when you send the email and you tell me what you're interested in, I try to find a club that's close and get you connected with the leader for that club.
Perfect. So send Nikki and Hitesh your emails right away.
That's right.
All right. And don't forget to check our next episode. We're going to have one more conversation with Jen and Nikki. We're going to talk about some of the experiences of the kids. You definitely don't want to miss these stories in the next episode.